Good morning, 422, Mr. Wagner's Social Studies class. I'm here to help you understand how to do the work. Um, Basically, for 422, first thing you would do is go to the YouTube video, the John Green video. He talks about 8 aspects of Hinduism and how that developed. He also talks about that Buddhism sprung out of that and how Asoka played a role in that. So there's 8 things he talks about. He does talk very fast. Anything that's said as a fact or new thing you learned, you would write that down and submit in the file that's in the assignment directions. So that's down here. I clicked on view assignment and instructions. Excuse me. Are you trying to stream? You can't stream right now because I'm making a video. We don't have that much bandwidth to work with, so then you just froze my video. Okay, so in the instructions, I scroll down, and then there is, where is it? That form right there, that's where I hand in my video notes. The next thing is the day one student. So I've got day one student PDF, day one student in Espanol, and day one student. That's the 2 places you could read the file. Today you're going to read and answer the hook and background questions. That's where you put your answers right here. The Spanish copy, where to put your answers, or the English copy. And what that looks like, I go into this. Document-based question is what DBQ means, by the way, document-based questions. Meaning you look at primary documents written by people that are experts or were there at the time, mostly experts in this situation. And we're going to answer a question called Asoka. Was he a ruthless conqueror or an enlightened ruler? You could also say it was a combination of both if you care to. So in order to find out about him, you have to go more in depth. John Green's video is okay, but there are these 6 documents. Did I count right? Or is it 7? A, B, C, D, E, F. That are about him, or people's opinions about him, or history about him, or the discussions of what he did, or actually on buildings pronouncing how awesome he was. And then you read about them, answer questions about them. That makes you become an expert about those documents, A, B, C, D, E, F. Then you would use some of them as evidence for like the citation and explaining part of your essay. The essay will be written early next week, so you have some time before you have to really get in and kind of stress about that. The hook exercise is usually the next page, and it kind of gets you to think in the same way you would think for the essay. Do the ends justify the means? With Asoka, it's, did he end up slaughtering a lot of Kalingans in order to win and unite India? India wasn't very united, and he helped to unite India. Was that okay that thousands and thousands of people died? That's what we think about with the essay. With this, it just talks about this fictional story with the cheating in baseball. And you are not supposed to talk with a second person. You were, if we were in a classroom, you can feel free to, just do a Google Hangout with one other student or a couple other students to talk about these. And then you have to jot down an answer on the answer form. So there are 5 of those. Then the background essay is for 422. You read basically if you were to go to Wikipedia and type in Asoka, and it would tell you the whole story about him in like 6, 7 paragraphs. Well, this is kind of like that. Maybe more like 10 paragraphs, but it has, some new vocab, maybe like a chakra, but it explains what it is. And it talks about him, what he did, the fact that he changed everybody to Buddhism that would listen, I should say, and how he pronounced himself in edicts and basically put up banners about himself and bragged about himself. And then it always ends with where you're headed. And this mini-Q investigates a man about whom we know relatively little. And what we do know is written mostly in stone. We know from his own words that he was at times a troubled man. As he grew older, he was apparently haunted by some of his earlier deeds as an emperor. Like so many who have made a large impact on the world, this story was both its dark and its light sides. Which side of Asoka should history remember? Examine the 7 documents that follow. Well, 7 documents. I learned how to count today. That follow, and do your best to answer the question: is he a ruthless conqueror or is he an enlightened ruler? So that's basically what the essay prompt is going to be, right? That's your thesis. So after you read this, or you can go back and forth, you would answer these questions. In what year, and then some definitions. They're obviously in a PDF, so you're looking at me like, well, how do I answer them? Well, the answer is that you would click on this right here. That's where you put your answers. Okay, so then you would type your answers to the situations here. Does the ends justify the means? And then at the bottom of the other questions, 1 through, was it 4 or 5? And then the definitions of like chakra and whatnot. So all you have to do is type your answers in there. This is a copy made for all of you, and then you would submit this. And you already handed in a Google form, and that's all today. I know you're very sad that there's no Newsella today, and there might not be the rest of the week, but I know you're less of the deal. If there are any other questions besides that, though, make sure to get in contact with me. And then we can do a Google Hangout. I am available online 2 p.m. today, Wednesday, 4/22, in a Google Hangout I've already scheduled. And I was already in a 10 o'clock a.m. Google Hangout. Not many people attended. That was rather disheartening, but I guess we'll just have to deal. So good luck in today's lesson. And I want you to think the whole time that you're reading the primary documents, the background essay, do you think that he was an enlightened ruler who realized there's more than just violence, right? In order to be in power, I can't just always hurt people in order to keep my power. I have to do more than that. I have to lead and use soft power where I'm not just crushing people. Or was he just a ruthless conqueror and just trying to cover up? I don't know if your mind's made up yet, but I hope that you figure that out by, Friday. You're already kind of in the direction you're going to go in your essay. All right, guys, good luck. Wagner, out.
Dad, my meeting is on Zoom. I don't know.
Well, you're in your meeting on Zoom, so please hold.